Most people lose their day in the first 30 minutes after they wake up. But what if I told you those same 30 minutes can either make you unstoppable or invisible to your own goals? It's not about being perfect. It's about being intentional. There was a time in my life when I would wake up just 10 minutes before work. I'd scroll on my phone, skip breakfast, stress out over small things and rush into the day already exhausted. I thought I was just a night owl or not a morning person. But deep down, I knew I was wasting time and potential. One morning, after missing a meeting I had prepared weeks for, I realized something had to change. I gave myself 30 uninterrupted minutes each morning for me. No distractions, no social media, just structure and intention, and everything began to shift. My mindset, my energy, even my income. Those 30 minutes became my launchpad. This speech is a blueprint of what I've learned. 10 powerful keys that can help you start your day with clarity, confidence, and purpose. Number 1, wake up with a victory, even if it's small. The way you start your day is the way you live your life, because those first moments after waking are a mirror of your discipline, your mindset, and your inner world. Waking up with a victory doesn't mean running a marathon or closing a business deal before sunrise. It means stacking a small, meaningful win that puts you in a position of power and presence before the world even knows you're awake. Let me tell you something I learned the hard way. I used to wake up already behind, snoozing the alarm 2, 3, 4 times. I'd check my phone before I even got out of bed, scrolling through messages, news and social media. My heart rate would rise, my mind would scatter, my focus was gone before I even stood up. But then I read something simple that changed my life. Win the morning and you win the day. So I asked myself, what does winning the morning even look like for me? That's when I committed to the smallest win imaginable, making my bed. It sounds trivial, right? But that one act, done first thing, told my brain, I am not behind, I am in charge. I didn't know it then, but I was building momentum. Momentum from a 30-second decision that took no talent, no money, and no motivation. It was just a choice. That one choice began stacking. I started drinking a full glass of water. I stretched my spine and took 3 deep breaths. Each act took less than a minute, but every one whispered a message to my subconscious. You are showing up for yourself today. And that's the secret. The small victory isn't about the task, it's about the signal you send to your inner world. When you start your day by consciously doing something positive, something you chose, you reclaim your power. It becomes a ritual, a silent declaration that the world won't control you. You are not reactive, you are proactive, you are deliberate. So maybe for you, the win is journaling 1 sentence, or stepping outside and greeting the sun, or saying thank you before your feet hit the floor. It doesn't have to be big. It just has to be yours. Because when you begin the day on your terms, everything that follows starts to align with that intention. 1 small win. That's how transformation begins. 1 morning at a time. Number 2, don't touch your phone for the first 30 minutes. Your mind is a sacred place, especially in the first 30 minutes after you wake up. In those quiet moments before the noise of the world floods in, your brain is operating in a unique state known as the theta state. It's when your mind is most open to suggestion, creativity, and programming. And yet, what do most people do in that precious window? They grab their phone and start scrolling. Instantly, the world invades their peace, hijacks their focus, and loads their mind with stress, comparison, and distraction. I used to be guilty of it too. I'd open my eyes and immediately check my phone, messages, emails, news, notifications. I thought I was being productive. But all it really did was set me up for reactivity. I was answering the world before I even asked myself how I wanted to feel. I didn't realize it then, but I was starting my day in survival mode. I was letting the outside world dictate my mood, my pace, and even my self-worth. One morning, after waking up to a particularly stressful work email, I felt my anxiety skyrocket. My heart was pounding, my mind racing, and it wasn't even 7 a.m. That's when I made a rule. No phone for the first 30 minutes. It was hard at first. I felt the pull, the habit, the reflex. But within a few days, everything began to shift. I felt lighter, quieter, more in control. My mornings became mine again. Here's what really happens when you touch your phone first thing in the morning. You give your focus away. You react instead of create. You consume instead of align. You compare instead of reflect. But when you protect that window of time, you give your soul a chance to breathe. You listen inward instead of outward. You decide how you want to show up before the world decides for you. That's powerful. That's rare. So what can you do instead of checking your phone? Sit in silence. Breathe deeply. Set your intention. Stretch your body. Read one page. Write down one thought. Drink water slowly. Be still with yourself. Let your mind arrive into the day like a sunrise. Gentle, warm, and deliberate. The world will wait. The notifications, the emails, the updates, they are not going anywhere. But your peace, your presence, and your clarity, they are priceless. And they begin the moment you choose you over your phone. Number 3, speak gratitude out loud. Gratitude is not just a nice idea or a feel-good concept. It's a powerful force that can shift your entire state of being. And speaking it out loud makes it even more real. Because what you speak, you claim. What you hear from your own voice, you believe on a deeper level. Saying thank you isn't just about being polite. It's about programming your mind to notice abundance rather than lack. It's about directing your focus to what's right instead of what's missing. When I began practicing spoken gratitude, I was going through a season of struggle. Financial pressure, relationship tension, and uncertainty about my future clouded my thoughts. I didn't feel like I had much to be grateful for. But one morning, I stood in front of the mirror and, almost sarcastically, whispered, "Thank you for the roof over my head." It felt forced, but I did it again the next day. This time adding, "Thank you for this breath. Thank you for this body still trying its best." Slowly, something started to change. Speaking gratitude out loud grounded me in the present. It reminded me that not everything was broken, that even in chaos, there was still beauty. It reminded me that I had more than I realized, and that meant I was already blessed. And blessings, when acknowledged, multiply. There's a hidden science behind it too. Gratitude releases dopamine and serotonin, brain chemicals that boost mood and reduce stress. But when you speak it aloud, you amplify its power. Your nervous system hears the positivity, your energy shifts. You start the day not from a place of anxiety or scarcity, but from fullness. So how do you do it? Simple. The moment you wake up, say 3 things you're grateful for out loud. They don't have to be deep or dramatic. Thank you for a warm bed. Thank you for my healthy hands. Thank you for the chance to try again today. Let your voice make the invisible visible. You can do it while brushing your teeth, making your coffee, or standing in the sunlight. Just speak it with sincerity, even if it feels small. What you appreciate, appreciates. And when your morning begins in gratitude, your perspective softens. Your stress quiets. Your heart opens. Don't just think gratitude. Speak it. Let your own voice remind you, no matter how much is uncertain, you are still surrounded by gifts. And today is one of them. Number 4, move your body before the world moves you. Before the emails, before the deadlines, before the traffic, the calls, the noise of life, move your body. Not for a six-pack, not for perfection, but because movement is how you take ownership of your energy. When you move your body, you tell the world, I am awake, I am alive, I am in charge today. There was a time when I believed that morning workouts were only for athletes or fitness fanatics. I thought, what difference could 5 or 10 minutes of movement make? But I noticed something. On the mornings I stretched or did a few light exercises, I felt sharper, calmer, more prepared. Not just physically, but mentally and emotionally too. It was like I had dusted off the weight of sleep and stress. I wasn't waiting for the day to push me around. I had already taken the first step, literally. Your body is your vehicle. It carries your mind, your emotions, your spirit through every experience of your day. And yet, most people neglect it first thing in the morning. They go from bed to phone to car to desk without even checking in with the vessel that carries their soul. But movement is medicine. Just 5 to 10 minutes of mindful movement can improve circulation, awaken your muscles, and shift your mindset from passive to powerful. And you don't need a gym. You don't need equipment. All you need is willingness. A few stretches, a walk outside, a dance in your kitchen, a deep breath with each movement. What matters is not how you move, it's that you move. It's about creating momentum, because when you move with intention, you generate energy. And when you generate energy, you enter your day not just awake, but alive. There's also a deeper layer to this. Movement reconnects you to yourself. In a world that constantly pulls your attention outward, moving your body first thing pulls your awareness inward. You become present with your breath. You tune into your strength, your flexibility, your limits, and your potential. You remember that your body is not just something to manage, it's something to celebrate. So tomorrow morning, before the world asks anything of you, give yourself a gift. Move, stretch, breathe, walk. Let your first victory be physical, because when you move your body before the world moves you, you become unshakable, and the day begins on your terms. Number 5, set one clear daily intention. If you don't know what you're aiming for, how will you ever know if you're getting closer? Most people wake up and dive straight into tasks, noise, and distractions without ever deciding what truly matters that day. They don't lack energy, they lack clarity. That's why setting one clear daily intention can transform your entire day into a mission, not just a routine. An intention isn't just a goal, it's a direction. It's a quiet decision that says, this is who I choose to be today. Think of it like a compass. Without it, you may keep walking, working, and doing, but you're moving in circles. With it, every step has purpose. Your energy knows where to go. Your mind knows what to filter. Your emotions get grounded in direction, not scattered in confusion. I started practicing daily intention setting during one of the most chaotic seasons of my life. Work was overwhelming, relationships were strained, and every day felt like a blur of activity with little to show for it. One morning, I paused and asked myself, what's the one thing I must do today to feel aligned? I wrote it down. Be calm no matter what. That day, everything shifted. Emails still came, people still pulled me in different directions, but I kept returning to that intention. It became my anchor. It reminded me of who I wanted to be, not just what I needed to do. That's the beauty of a single intention. It keeps you aligned. It could be task-based, finish writing the report, or identity-based, show up with patience. Either way, it focuses your attention, and what you focus on grows. Here's how to do it. Each morning, after you've grounded yourself, maybe after some stretching or silence, ask yourself one simple question. What is one thing I want to accomplish, feel, or embody today? Write it down. Speak it out loud. Own it. You don't need 10 priorities. You need one that matters. That one intention will guide your decisions, filter distractions, and help you end the day with a sense of direction and accomplishment, even if everything didn't go perfectly. Remember, intention is power. It transforms wandering into walking, reaction into response, chaos into clarity. So before you let the world set your agenda, set one for yourself. One clear daily intention. That's not just how you manage your day, it's how you master it. Number 6, feed your mind something powerful. Your mind is like a garden. Whatever you plant in it will grow. The problem is most people are letting weeds take root first thing in the morning. News headlines filled with fear, social media full of comparison, inboxes loaded with demands. All of it becomes mental junk food. And just like your body feels sluggish after unhealthy food, your mind becomes heavy when it's fed low-quality thoughts. That's why the first input you give your mind in the morning matters more than you think. It sets the tone for how you think, feel, act, and respond the rest of the day. I'll never forget the day I started replacing social scrolling with soul feeding. Instead of reaching for my phone to check notifications, I pressed play on a 5-minute audio about discipline. It wasn't long, it wasn't complicated, but it was powerful. I felt something shift. My posture straightened, my energy lifted. I went into that day with a clearer focus and a deeper sense of strength. That's when I realized your morning input isn't neutral. It's either feeding your fear or feeding your future. Feeding your mind something powerful doesn't mean reading a whole book or listening to an hour-long podcast. It means being intentional with even 5 to 10 minutes. Read one page of something that inspires growth. Listen to a short motivational message. Watch a clip that aligns with your values. Write down one truth that empowers your mindset. These small inputs create big shifts. What you allow into your mind becomes the voice you hear when challenges arise. When the day gets stressful, when people get difficult, when self-doubt creeps in, your mind will either echo the chaos you consumed or the clarity you chose to feed it. Ask yourself this every morning. Does my mind need to grow today? Is it courage? Then feed it words of strength. Is it peace? Then give it stillness and truth. Is it clarity? Then fuel it with focus. You become what you consume. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually. So guard that first part of the day like your life depends on it. Because in many ways, it does. Don't start your day on mental autopilot. Start it with nourishment. Choose content that builds you, challenges you, elevates you. When you feed your mind something powerful, you don't just have a better morning, you build a better life. One thought at a time. Keynote 7. Use the mirror to build identity. The mirror isn't just for checking your hair or adjusting your clothes. It's a sacred tool for reflection, not just of your appearance, but of your identity. What you say to yourself in the mirror every morning becomes the script your subconscious follows throughout the day. Most people look in the mirror and see flaws, imperfections, or tiredness. But what if the mirror became your training ground, your temple, your stage for speaking life into your identity? Years ago, I read a quote that said, "You become what you repeatedly say to yourself." At first, I thought it sounded too simple to be true, but I was desperate. I was struggling with self-doubt, feeling stuck and waking up every day feeling small. One morning, I stood in front of the mirror and whispered, "You are focused. You are enough. You are getting stronger." It felt awkward, almost fake, but I kept doing it. Every day, something powerful started to happen, not overnight, but gradually. I began believing it. And once belief entered, so did transformation. Why does this work? Because your brain listens when you speak, especially when it hears it through your own voice. Combine that with the visual feedback of looking directly into your eyes in the mirror, And you've created a neurological and emotional imprint. It's no longer just an affirmation, it's a declaration, a personal contract with your future self. Here's how to do it. Each morning, when you stand in front of the mirror, take a moment. Look yourself in the eye, not with judgment, but with honesty. Then speak who you are becoming. Say it with emotion. Say it with conviction. I am disciplined. I am calm under pressure. I am grateful no matter what. I am becoming who I was born to be. These are not wishes, they're identity seeds. Even if you don't fully believe it yet, say it. Your words shape your self-picture, and your self-picture drives your actions. The world will try to tell you who you are all day long, but if you define it first thing in the morning, you walk into the world with clarity, confidence, and control. The mirror is not a place to find flaws, it's a place to find focus. It's where you begin to shape your identity intentionally, not passively. And when you do this daily, the reflection you once questioned becomes the reflection you respect. So speak into it, build your identity, and let your reflection reflect who you're becoming, not just who you were. Number 8, visualize your wins before they happen. Before an athlete steps onto the track or a performer steps onto the stage, they often close their eyes and see the victory before it's even real. That's not magic, it's mental preparation. Visualization is one of the most powerful tools you can use to shift your internal state before anything external has even occurred. And your morning is the perfect time to practice it because your mind is still quiet, still open, still receptive. When you visualize your wins before they happen, you're not escaping reality. You're training your brain to create it. There was a time in my life when I felt like everything was out of my control. No matter how hard I worked, something always went wrong. I felt like I was reacting to life, never ahead of it. Then I learned the power of visualization. One morning, I sat in silence for just 2 minutes. I closed my eyes and imagined myself walking into a meeting, calmly, speaking with confidence, and leaving with clarity. I didn't know it then, but I was rewiring my brain. That meeting went smoother than ever before. Not because the situation changed, but because I did. Here's what happens when you visualize. Your brain doesn't fully distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. When you mentally rehearse success, you prime your nervous system to recognize that state as familiar rather than foreign. So when the real moment comes, your body says, I've been here before. I know what to do. That's powerful. You don't need a vision board or a perfect meditation space. Just close your eyes and walk through the day as your highest self. See yourself speaking with confidence. See yourself crossing off that task. See yourself smiling, calm, focused, energized. You feel the emotions, relief, pride, strength, peace. It's not just about seeing the result, it's about embodying the feeling of the win. That's what sticks, that's what your brain remembers and repeats. Even just 60 seconds of focused visualization can change the course of your day. It gives your mind a map, a direction. And once your mind knows where to go, your actions follow more easily. You walk with more assurance. You speak with more clarity. You make decisions with more courage. So don't just wait for the day to go well. See it going well. Direct your energy. Prepare your spirit. Train your mind. Visualize your wins before they happen. And soon, they won't just live in your imagination, they'll show up in your reality. Number 9, journal the noise out of your head. Your mind is not meant to be a storage unit. It's meant to be a processing space. But most people treat it like a cluttered attic, filled with thoughts, worries, ideas, reminders, emotions, and conversations that never got closure. And when you carry all that mental noise into your day, you're not just distracted, you're disconnected. That's why journaling in the morning is one of the most underrated yet powerful ways to clear space, regain clarity, and reconnect with yourself. It's not about being a writer, it's about being honest. I started journaling when I felt overwhelmed by everything and understood nothing. Thoughts kept spinning in my head, worries about the future, guilt from the past, and constant inner chatter that left me exhausted before the day even began. One morning, I picked up a pen and wrote, "I don't know what I'm doing anymore." That one sentence was a release. Then another. "But I want to feel peace today." It wasn't poetry, it was truth. And truth on paper becomes power in life. Journaling gives your thoughts a place to land. What's vague in your mind becomes visible on the page. When it's written, it can be observed. When it's observed, it can be understood. And once it's understood, it no longer controls you. Here's the key. Don't journal to sound smart or profound. Journal to clean out. Let it be messy. Let it be raw. No one else will see it. This is your sacred space to check in with your mind and emotions. You can start simple. What am I feeling right now? What am I worried about today? What do I need to let go of? What do I want to create today? Give yourself permission to dump the mental chaos onto the page, because the moment you do, you create space for clarity to rise. Think of it like brushing your mental teeth, clearing the gunk so your thoughts can flow freely. Journaling also reveals patterns. Over time, you'll notice what keeps showing up, what you haven't dealt with, what your soul keeps whispering, what your heart keeps needing. And that awareness alone creates growth. So before you let the day rush in, pause, open a notebook, grab a pen, let the ink carry what your mind doesn't need to hold. Journal the noise out of your head, and you'll enter the day with more presence, more peace, and more power than you ever imagined. Number 10, smile at the day, even before it smiles back. The world is waiting to see how you show up, and the way you show up, especially in the first moments of your day, often determines what the world reflects back to you. That's why something as simple as a smile, yes, even before there's a reason, can change everything. Smiling isn't just a response to joy, it's a creator of it. It tells your brain all is well, even if things feel uncertain. It's an act of courage, of optimism, of choosing light, even when the skies are gray. I remember one season of my life when things were heavy. The weight of personal struggles and professional pressure made it hard to even get out of bed. I'd walk around with a clenched jaw, furrowed brows, and a heart full of stress. One morning I read a simple line, "Smile first, let the day catch up to your joy." That idea felt strange to me, but I tried it. I stood in front of the mirror and smiled, not because I felt like it, but because I needed to. It was awkward, even forced. But that smile softened something in me. It loosened the grip of heaviness. It opened the door to something lighter. You see, your physiology is powerful. When you smile, your brain releases dopamine and serotonin, your body's natural feel-good chemicals. Even a fake smile can spark a real shift in your state. That's science. But beyond biology, there's something spiritual about it too. A smile says, "I trust this day, even if I don't understand it." It's a symbol of hope, of resilience, of presence. Smiling at the day is like planting a seed. You may not see the fruit right away, but that energy will return to you. People respond to it. Circumstances shift in its presence. And more importantly, you shift. You're no longer waiting for a reason to feel good. You're creating one. That makes you powerful. So as you rise, before the messages, before the meetings, before the mood of the day is fully formed, smile. Smile at the sunlight. Smile at your reflection. Smile for no reason at all. Because in that moment, you've already taken control. You've chosen to lead the day with grace, not just follow it with stress. Smile at the day, even before it smiles back. It's a small gesture with a massive ripple effect. And sometimes, that one smile is the spark that changes everything. Every morning, life hands you a blank page. Before the world makes its demands, before the noise rises, before you get swept into task, roles and responsibilities, you have a window, a sacred space, a quiet opportunity to choose how you show up. These first 30 minutes aren't just about productivity, they're about alignment. They're about planting seeds that grow into your thoughts, your actions, your identity. It's not about being perfect. It's about being intentional. Because when you win your morning, you don't just get ahead. You become grounded, steady, clear, powerful. So tomorrow, don't just wake up. Rise. Move your body. Speak gratitude. Set your intention. Smile into the unknown. Visualize your success. Feed your mind truth. Build your identity. Journal the chaos. And most importantly, choose to be present, not just alive, but awake. This is your life. It begins fresh every morning. You don't need to do it all. Just start with one habit, one shift, one decision to make your morning sacred. And if no one told you lately, you are worthy of peace. You are capable of focus. You are strong enough to lead your own energy. Let the day follow your rhythm. Let the light in. Let your soul take the first breath before the world catches up. And always remember, when you master your morning, you master your life. Start it right, start it with you.